Seeds and Arrows Frontier, and today just wanted to go over a video for the hunters out there, the new hunters, or I say the new bow hunters, archery hunters. One of the things, I was going through a couple of old videos, and one of my friend Matt, and talked to him about using this video, and it's basically him and his first time hunting for deer up here. He's from Florida, but he came up here, and so I said I'd put him on some deer, and he didn't care if it was a buck or doe. He just wanted to get his first deer with a bow. And at that point in time, I told him, yeah, go ahead, go down, while he's down in Florida, get your bow, get it all set up, bring it up here, target practice with it. And I'm telling you, I told him it's like practice, practice, practice. Well, he was practicing to where he was putting shots from 40 yards within, a silver dollar. And we all, everybody that came up, my other brother Steve, my friend Brian, and myself were target practicing, and we all decided to have like a little competition and see who could, hit the bullseye the furthest away. And Matt won that competition. However, Matt's right-handed, but left-eye dominant. And even though he had a little bit of pressure, he was able to use that situation and actually focus on his shot. And what he ended up choosing to do was, since he's right-handed, he chose a right-handed bow, which means that he would have to train his right eye to shoot with the bow. However, what we found out in the course of things, which we didn't know at the time, but basically, I'll show you this video here.
I think she turned on me. I have to go back and look at the tape. I think she heard it and turned. What'd you see?
I guess so. I think the nerves got you.
You think? Probably.
So that was like a pretty big letdown for Matt. It was a pretty big letdown for me, because I was like, man, I'm going to get you on some deer. And this doe come walking out broadside, and she was like 15 yards in front of us, and we didn't know what was going on, and I just basically chalked it up to adrenaline. And this is Matt's description of his adrenaline rush when that deer came out.
All
right, so Matt, when we were out there today, you were talking about explaining what the adrenaline rush is compared to when you're pulling back on a deer.
Man, I have never seen deer that close, and it is one of the most amazing adrenaline rushes I have ever experienced. Your heart is pumping, your breathing is heavy, you just can't get all that under control. You're thinking about what do I got to do? What's my next step? Am I going to get this deer, or is it going to be a complete miss? Am I going to blow the whole thing? All this work to get in position.
That's what the deer do.
You're terrible. Okay, so it's one of those experiences where, so your heart is beating hard, and you're breathing heavy, and you're trying to get all that under control, and you're wondering, am I gonna totally blow the whole thing. And you know, I've only experienced that one time in my life. You know, that same type of nervousness, the same type of, oh my gosh, is this really gonna happen type thing? And that was kissing Rachel for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty much sure I was gonna miss, just like the deer. But no, I actually hit it right on the mark. It was awesome. And then after you're done, you're like, whew, oh my gosh, I didn't get slapped. Yeah. So.
And so with that being said, I remember the first time I pulled back on a deer with the bow. I went out scouting the day before, found a tree with a little clearing in front of it, and decided early in the morning that was a tree I was going to be at. I got out there before the sun came up, got everything set up, was in the tree about 20 feet up, had my harness on, ready to go, ready to rock and roll, and have this buck come out 20 yards broadside. I pull back, he stops, he looks over at me, freezes, and I drilled him. And I was thinking, this is the life, you know, I got this archery down, but the adrenaline rush that I compared it to, Tessa shakes her head at me when I talk about this, but it's a adrenaline rush that I compare to my first kiss with Tessa. And, you know, it's just, you know, is everything going right? You know, are your lips gonna meet? Or, you know, you're not gonna kiss her on the cheek, or, you know, and then is she gonna slap me, or is she actually gonna be receiving of the kiss? You know? And so when that deer comes out in front of you, and Matt was explaining that the same way, all these things are going on, and you just got so many thoughts rushing through your head that it's just like, okay, you know, am I doing everything right? And then you pull back and release, and then the moment of truth hits, or your arrow doesn't hit. Well, Matt went home, and I got him on several other deer, but he was never able to connect. And Matt went home empty-handed that year. Of course, you know, we had some jokes about it and everything, and I was very appreciative for Matt, you know, allowing me to share this video, because he's kind of embarrassed about it. But I would seriously say that out of all the hunters that were in our man's group, he is by far one of the best hunters with a bow. The problem wasn't him and his technique. The problem was he was left eye dominant, which is the same thing that my son has. So I basically learned from Matt's errors, and what he ended up having to do was get a left bow, because what happened was, as soon as that adrenaline kicked in, his mind took over and the dominant eye takes over. So when he's looking down at his target, he's not looking with his right eye. His left eye is taking over, and it's changing the trajectory of your arrow. And this is something, you know, you're spending $500, $600, $700, some even $1,000 on your bows. If you have this problem, you go in there to the bow shop, you're going to say, yeah, I'm right-handed, or yeah, I'm left-handed. Most of the time, they're not even going to check that. So one of the things that you can do is what I do, and I've taught other people to do, is just both hands, make like a little hole, and then you just hold it up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to focus on that hole and just slowly bring it down. And you got to turn your hat backwards here. But as you slowly bring it down, what you're going to do, you'll notice that the hole is going to focus on one eye or the other. When you come down all the way to your face, that's going to be your dominant eye. Most people would say that this is the accurate way to go. Some people disagree with that. I'm fine with that. Whatever works for you. But just know, before you spend, you know, $700, $1,000 on a bow, check into this, okay? Because once you buy that bow and you get out there for the first time, if it's not within the warranty, you just ate $1,000. Now you're gonna have a used bow that you're gonna have to sell for a fraction of the price that you actually paid for it. So if you're going to, if you do have this issue, I would strongly urge you to go with your left dominant eye and train yourself left-handed, which is a lot easier than actually trying to train your non-dominant eye.
Okay, so I just shot my first deer with a bow. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right down there. I shot right through the trees, right through that hole. And I was sitting in a tree stand. The camera's shaking because I'm so excited. There's a feeder right down there. It's probably hard to see with some corn. And the deer came in from that side. And I saw him through the trees. And I shot through the trees. And it put her down. It put her down right there. She didn't even move. Looked like a heart shot. I can't tell. But it looks like a heart shot. Oh, yeah! Yes! Kentucky hunting, baby. Love it. Oh, that is such a rush.
So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay safe, make each day count, and God bless. And hopefully that this actually helps somebody out.
Am I going to get this deer, or is it going to be a complete miss? Am I going to blow the whole thing? All this work to get in position and wait for it. Anyway, we're in mixed company, and
I was talking about deer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's what the deer do.
You're terrible.